Well, for more now on President Cyril Ramaphosa and US President Donald Trump's meeting, we're joined in studio by SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Now, there are reports that Elon Musk is engaging with South African government in bringing Starlink to South Africa. Are we likely to see Elon Musk in Washington?
Well, I've spoken to a number of people who are close to the engagements. I'm told that he is not going to be there. When you monitor what has been happening to Elon Musk, you will realize that people have been very impatient with him, including ordinary citizens in the United States of America, due to the anger that he is influencing the president of the United States of America in a wrong direction, including his business counterparts, but also globally. You saw what's happening in Canada, his mother's home country, where there's a petition doing the rounds that that government must revoke his citizenship in Canada. Here at home, you've seen the whole week, people have been complaining about how he has used the social media platform, and as a man who's responsible for a powerful company in the world to influence. I mean, he was just influencing the talks ahead of what was going to happen. That's what I'm told. But with Donald Trump, never say never. He might pitch, but this is what I'm told. We know that even yesterday in the Congress, when you monitor what was happening in the US Congress, you'll see that there was a strong lobbying, I think, from South Africans in terms of calling on the members of the Congress to assist and push back on many issues. And Elon Musk also, even though his name was not mentioned directly, there was a pushback against what he has done in America and what that has led to in terms of diminishing the influence of America on global stage. Let's take a listen at this discussion in the Congress yesterday, where the Congress is talking about the influence of China because America is losing influence around the world and China is taking over. And then follow up by congressmen saying the decision of Deutsche has led to this disaster. Let's take a listen.
Now the Chinese dominate 80-something% of that industry. They could cut off our medicine. So I think when you talk about energy, I could apply that to a host of critical industries in the 21st century. If we don't address that imbalance, which is what we're hoping to do with some of the trade proposals, but also domestic matters that the administration is taking on, we're going to be in real tough shape here very soon if we're not already.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I see my time is up, but I look forward to continuing to talk with you about how we can create this all-of-society strategy to be able to fight back against Communist China, because you just laid out a lot of the things that we're at risk at, and we have to have a way to be able to push back on them so that they don't decide to try to take Taiwan by force or try to do an energy quarantine, which could lead to a war which would be devastating for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. A sobering analysis of where we are on the supply chain. Senator Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member. Thank you, Secretary Rubio. Look forward to two sessions together today. This afternoon, you'll be in front of the Appropriations Subcommittee. And I think there's going to be some themes across both of these. First, I think we all agree that China poses our single greatest geopolitical threat and that we have no choice but to deter China across the board and to outcompete China. Senator Ricketts and I just traveled to the Philippines and Taiwan and saw directly the challenges that we face there and regionally. And you've recently had some significant successes, the DRC, Rwanda, peace transition, the avoidance of escalation in India and Pakistan, the opening towards Syria. But I also frankly think that there's been a real lack of coordination and some serious harm to our standing in the world with some of the countries that we have worked most closely with over decades. The DOGE-driven, abrupt and largely illegal cancellation of billions of dollars of contracts for humanitarian relief and aid, and the disrespect and the dismissal of thousands of AID staff and our NGO partners stands in sharp contrast to the state reorganization process you just presented on in your following. You've submitted plans and proposals. We're having a conversation. You're going to send a congressional notification. We're going to have a hearing. That's the way that the reforming of USAID could have and should have happened.
Let's recap now on the key issues the two leaders are expected to focus on today, please, Sophie.
It's trade and investment, including the diplomatic relations, but also the global issues, the war in Ukraine, the Middle East, including what's happening on the continent.
And then Deputy President Paul Mashatile is in France. What's the latest there?
He is continuing to engage business. Some are members of the European Union. He spoke to business earlier on. We expect the Deputy President to meet the leader of France, Emmanuel Macron, but we are still waiting for final details in terms of time, but he is continuing to push for investment in that country.
Thank you. That was Sophie Mokoena, SABC News International Editor.